Imagine a time when Spain was not Spain, but Al-Andalus, a land where cultures collided and created something breathtakingly new. Our story begins in the year 711 AD. A force of Arabs and Berbers, led by the general Tariq ibn Ziyad, crossed the narrow strait of water separating North Africa from Europe. The very rock where they landed would be named after him, Jabal Tariq, or Tariq's Mountain, which we know today as Gibraltar. At that time, the Iberian Peninsula was ruled by the Visigoths, a Germanic tribe whose kingdom was weakened by internal conflict. When King Roderic's army met Tariq's forces at the Battle of Guadalete, the Visigothic kingdom crumbled. In just a few short years, Muslim armies swept across the peninsula, conquering city after city, from Toledo in the center to Zaragoza in the north. This marked the birth of Al-Andalus, the Arabic name for the lands they now governed. But this wasn't just a military conquest. It was the beginning of a new chapter in world history. In 750, a major political shift happened far away in Damascus. The Umayyad Caliphate was overthrown by the Abbasids. One young Umayyad prince, Abd al-Rahman, escaped the massacre of his family. He embarked on a perilous journey, traveling for years across North Africa, a fugitive with a dream. In 756, he arrived in Al-Andalus. Rallying support from those still loyal to his family, he established himself as the Emir of Córdoba, independent from the new Abbasid rulers in Baghdad. This was a pivotal moment. Abd al-Rahman Thurma, nicknamed the Falcon of the Quraysh, laid the foundations for a dynasty that would rule for nearly 3 centuries and turn Al-Andalus into a beacon of civilization. Under his rule and that of his successors, Córdoba began its transformation. They didn't just build an empire, they built a society. The Great Mosque of Córdoba, started by Abd al-Rahman III, became a symbol of their power and piety. With each successive ruler, it grew, its forest of columns and candy cane arches expanding into one of the most magnificent buildings in the world. It was a testament to a new, confident culture taking root in European soil. The golden age of Al-Andalus truly began in the 10th century under Abd al-Rahman III. In 929, he took the title of Caliph, declaring Córdoba a caliphate, a rival to the great Islamic empires in Baghdad and Cairo. This wasn't just a political statement, it was a declaration of cultural supremacy. His reign ushered in an era of unparalleled peace and prosperity. The capital, Córdoba, became the largest, wealthiest, and most sophisticated city in Western Europe. While London and Paris were little more than modest towns, Córdoba boasted paved streets, street lighting, grand libraries, and public baths. Its population swelled to an estimated 500,000 people, a vibrant mix of Muslims, Christians, and Jews. This unique social fabric created what historians call the convivencia, or coexistence. While not always perfect harmony, it was a period where scholars from different faiths worked side by side. Jewish philosophers like Maimonides, Muslim polymaths like Averroes, and Christian thinkers all contributed to an explosion of knowledge. They translated ancient Greek texts of Aristotle and Plato, which had been lost to much of Europe, preserving and expanding upon them. The city of Madinat al-Zahra, the shining city, built by Abd al-Rahman III just outside Córdoba, was the stuff of legend. A vast palace city of marble, ivory, and precious stones, it was designed to dazzle visitors and showcase the caliph's immense wealth and power. It was the heart of a sophisticated court culture that valued poetry, music, and intellectual debate, but no golden age lasts forever. By the early 11th century, internal strife and political infighting fractured the Caliphate of Córdoba. In 1031, it collapsed completely, shattering Al-Andalus into numerous small, independent kingdoms called taifas. Cities like Seville, Granada, and Valencia became centers of their own lavish courts, competing with each other not just in warfare, but in art and science. This fragmentation, however, made them vulnerable. To the north, the Christian kingdoms of Castile, Aragon, and Portugal were growing stronger and more unified. They saw the fractured taifas as an opportunity. This marked the beginning of the Reconquista, the centuries-long campaign by Christian rulers to retake the peninsula. The Taifa kings, often in desperation, called for aid from powerful Berber dynasties in North Africa, the Almoravids and later the Almohads. These fierce warriors came and temporarily reunited Muslim Spain, pushing back the Christian advance. But their rule was often strict and intolerant, clashing with the more relaxed and cosmopolitan culture of the Taifas. Despite the constant warfare, this period was still one of incredible cultural achievement. The Giralda in Seville, originally the minaret of an Almohad mosque, and the magnificent palaces of the Aljaferia in Zaragoza are stunning examples of the art and architecture of this era. By the 13th century, the tide of the Reconquista had become unstoppable. The decisive Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa in 1212 was a crushing defeat for the Almohad forces. One by one, the great cities of Al-Andalus fell back into Christian hands. Córdoba was conquered in 1236, Valencia in 1238, and Seville in 1248. The great mosque of Córdoba was converted into a cathedral, a powerful symbol of the changing times. Soon, only one Muslim stronghold remained, the Emirate of Granada. Nestled in the protective embrace of the Sierra Nevada mountains, Granada would survive for another 250 years, a final, beautiful flicker of the Andalusian flame. Ruled by the Nasrid dynasty, this small kingdom became a refuge for Muslims fleeing the Christian advance. And it was here, in Granada, that Al-Andalus created its last and most enduring masterpiece, the Alhambra. More than just a fortress or a palace, the Alhambra is a paradise on earth, a breathtaking complex of courtyards, fountains, and exquisitely decorated halls. Its intricate tilework, delicate stucco carvings, and poetic inscriptions represent the zenith of Moorish art. The Court of the Lions and the General Life Gardens are a testament to a culture that, even in its twilight, sought to create beauty and tranquility. But the end was near. In the late 15th century, the marriage of Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon united the two most powerful Christian kingdoms in Spain. Their combined strength was focused on one final goal: the conquest of Granada. After a long and bitter siege, the last Nasrid ruler, Mohammed Dotast, known to the Spanish as Boabdil, surrendered the keys of the city on January 2, 1492. Legend says that as he looked back one last time at his lost kingdom from a mountain pass, he wept. His mother is said to have told him, "Do not weep like a woman for what you could not defend like a man." This spot is still known today as the Moor's last sigh. The fall of Granada marked the end of Al-Andalus and the completion of the Reconquista. But did the story truly end there? Not at all. The legacy of nearly 800 years of Islamic rule is woven into the very fabric of modern Spain and the wider world. Think of the language. Thousands of Spanish words, especially those starting with al, like almohada for pillow, alfombra for carpet, and algebra for algebra, come directly from Arabic. The influence is everywhere, from the food we eat to the music we hear. Flamenco, with its passionate cries and intricate rhythms, carries the echo of Andalusian and North African traditions. The knowledge preserved and created in Al-Andalus flowed north, fueling the European Renaissance. Advances in medicine, mathematics, astronomy, and agriculture were transmitted through translated texts. The introduction of paper, the concept of zero, and new farming techniques like irrigation transformed European society. The stunning architecture, the horseshoe arches, the intricate tile work, the tranquil courtyards, became a signature style known as mudéjar that continued to be used by Christian builders long after 1492. The story of Al-Andalus is a complex tale of conquest and coexistence, of golden ages and tragic declines. It reminds us that history is not a simple story of one civilization replacing another, but a rich and often messy process of blending and exchange. The light of Al-Andalus may have dimmed, but its warmth and brilliance can still be felt today in the art, science, and culture of Spain and the entire world. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey through history fascinating, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that shaped our world.